When it comes to our health, one day can change everything. Senior Care Advocates is the only firm in the state certified to conduct life resource planning, and they're right here in the Central Valley. So joining us now is Greg Steen, CEO of Senior Care Advocates. I know I just read that, and I should be the expert, but I didn't know that you were the only firm in the state that's qualified to give out some of these resources. So we sort of mentioned it there. You know, one day can change your life. How can Senior Care Advocates help during a catastrophic event that might change everything?
So we provide tons of resources, but we kind of say three things. We listen, we educate, and then we advocate. So we kind of get an idea of what's going on, because everybody does call you in a crisis, right? So it's immediate fact-finding, what's going on, and then we can help people understand what's suitable for them, what's right, what options to stay away from, because they're just not going to make sense, and then we make a game plan, and then we walk with you through that so that you have, like we were kind of talking about, nice to have somebody telling you, you know, what you do and where to go, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we do. We've been there, done it for many years, and so that's what we do at Senior Care Advocates.
So we talk about, you know, maybe a life-changing event, maybe a stroke, God forbid, and those things kind of happen later in life, but hopefully, and I actually know quite a few people who had strokes in their 20s, early 30s. Could they call you as well, or are these resources really for people maybe 65 and older?
Generally, we think that they're for 65 and older, you know, as we age, like you mentioned, but stuff happens and life happens, and people at all ages. And so I always tell people, literally, if you're 18 and above, you can benefit from what we do, because it's planning for the future, obviously. But whether it's legal documents that our attorneys draft or just really good sound plans, you know, there are people that are middle age, you know, 30 and 40, that have major health issues, catastrophic stuff, and they need a life resource plan because they haven't maybe had the time to really put together anything, and it's unexpected, right? So you are just kind of left just being told what to do and where to go, and you know, people don't always get what they need, they just get some help.
Right. So, you know, we might think of these resources for people who are aging, but sometimes those things happen to people a little bit earlier, so they could definitely benefit. When we talk about a life-changing event, how long can people expect to pay for long-term care or receive benefits for long-term care?
Typically, it's 3.5 to 5 years is the average in the United States. But obviously if you're younger, it's a whole lot longer. But even at 3.5 years, most people are not prepared. You know, the average in-home care is $28 an hour right now. The average assisted living is over $5 grand a month, and the average skilled nursing is over $10 grand a month in California. So people can do the math pretty quick and realize, okay, I've only got this much time. I'm going to be out of money. So it's really tough when you just don't have a plan.
Right.
So, and especially, you mentioned the younger ones, but coming out of COVID, we've learned a lot of things, hopefully. And you know, it was no respecter of age, no respecter of, you know, rich, poor, tall, short, whatever, healthy, unhealthy. It affected everybody. And so I'm glad you brought it up, because younger people really do need to have a plan and be knowledgeable of what's out there, because we're just too busy living life and having fun. I can get to it tomorrow, but one day does change everything.
Yes. And so when is a good time to reach out to you? You know, I know you get lots of calls. You said 5 minutes ago. You know, when should we be reaching out to you? And and for people out there who might be in a crisis right now, is it possible to get help to remain in the home?
So, great question. If you're in a crisis now, the best time was yesterday, so the second best time is today. If you're expecting a crisis, maybe with some health concerns, it's absolutely the best time, because you can get ahead of it, right? And you have more options that way. And if you're even, you know, 30, 40, 50 years old, it never hurts to sit down and have somebody tell you what's ahead, you know, and hopefully help you have a plan to age in place. It absolutely is possible to age in place and be cared for at home If you have a plan.
If you have a plan.
Yes.
So don't put off tomorrow what can be done today. Just a simple phone call. The number is right down there on your screen. Thank you so much for being here. Always useful information. We appreciate it. Bringing that to the forefront. Coming up.